Around the world, dogs are coming to the rescue, searching for survivors when disasters strike and in the water.
Grande cane!
At 10 years old, she was already finding it difficult to walk.
It's a pain.
Stay.
It took us a while to find a dog that took to Bella.
As a mom, I was nervous. I was like, he's huge. How is Bella ever gonna control a dog that size? Because he knew what she needed right when she needed it.
George has rescued her from a life of immobility and given her more confidence than she's ever had.
Good boy.
He has given her independence. She's able to now walk around the house without George.
His strength, stature, and loving nature have made a huge difference to Bella's life. And sits on the San Andreas Fault, an infamous hotspot for earthquakes. The center has a series of replica practice sites, each mimicking a different kind of disaster. Rocket is able to rapidly detect even the faintest trace of human scent. Every year, an estimated 3.3 million dogs end up in animal shelters in the US.
Great search shot.
Rocket's rescue career was over before it began. He would have to go back to the shelter. Rocket and Mike became partners during basic training in 2014.
You want it? We responded, and Rocket cleared an area of about 10 acres in about 10 minutes.
The first challenge is working in a much more complex 3D environment where the scent he's searching for. Any errors could cost the team precious time. Like these is a tougher task for rescue dogs because the scent trails are less distinct. This is Rocket's final challenge. For a dog that was once just days from death, he's now on top of his game and loving his job. Rocket's success is proof that Andrea was right to have faith.
Rocket is absolutely ready to go at a moment's notice. We're ready. Our bags are already packed, and Rocket's ready to rock.
If the current rate of ivory poaching continues, there could be no wild elephants left by 2040. This illegal trade is a multi-billion-dollar industry that's decimating wildlife across Africa. But in a situation where traffickers could be armed, he must be careful not to trigger a reaction.
When we received him, he had a congenital eye disorder, and from day one...
Airports around the world use sniffer dogs to detect contraband. But what makes a dog like Ruger such an extraordinary detection agent in the first place? It takes Taiji less than 3 minutes to clear the house. The anticipation of play increases the production of dopamine, a neurotransmitter that contributes to feelings of pleasure and contentment.
Very important and very serious work, and he doesn't really know how important he is.
Here in Lake Garda, a team is training the next generation of life-saving water rescue dogs. Is that he's so experienced, he now teaches other dogs how to save lives. Reef and his canine colleague Al will be teaching one new dog some of their old life-saving tricks.
It's important that the dog learn with imitation, and we put the experience. Okay.
Our canine companions can transform our lives and come to our rescue when we need them most. Their powerful sense of smell, their strength and stamina. At King Sharka International Airport, USA alone. In 2009, a flock of Canada geese struck a plane.
Our main focus is to harass the birds, just to make sure that they don't get too comfortable, to ensure there's no running incursion.
Is the latest recruit, Troy. Instruction.
Contact the ATC, and then the guys will immediately run out to the airfield.
Found dead on the airfield could easily have caused a disaster.
This size bird can really put
Troy is the fastest dog currently, but he's in his prime as compared to Buzz. Buzz is 18. I love Troy. The days that I'm off,
Protected species,
when I'm on my weekend.
a national reintroduction scheme is hoping to ensure their survival. With a little. Water voles like to burrow along the river banks. This dries a cross between the Springer and Cocker Spaniels. Unfortunately, latest figures nationwide reveal a
freeze and offer a
30%
down indication.
Darren must ensure it's as safe as possible.
So the problem really for water voles is
Makes Lola the perfect dog for this extraordinary job. This time,
we
it's
really
not
didn't know whether it would work or not. Is can a dog just sniff out a dropping of a water vole? And I just...
Namibia. Mbeo was forced to carry a gun to defend his herd. Cheetah Conservation Fund, or CCF. The facility has a feed program has placed 650 Anatolians with Namibian farmers like Mbeo.
Farmers find that quite exciting to get to name their new little employee. These are not pet dogs, these are working dogs.
Puppy, come. Puppy to save the cheetah from extinction. And Dr. Marker's own dog, Hercules, is putting his guard. Having been
Which makes it a
orphaned
bit
at such
difficult for the predator to see him, but then he sees the predator way before the predator sees him.
For farmer Mbeo, Captain has transformed the future of his goats and the cheetah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Right.
13-year-old Johnny Hicks.
So it was actually less than 2 years old when we realized something wasn't quite right.
Pale and gray. Xena was not given much chance.
Xena crawled onto Johnny's lap.
Are you ready to go?
And stayed there. Dogs don't judge. They simply calm and comfort.
I believe that a pit bull or any dog, is a product of their environment. You treat them with kindness and love.
Their powerful sense of smell, their strength and stamina. She uses her board skills to help people with anxiety overcome their fears. She suffered from post-traumatic stress, an anxiety disorder affecting many servicemen and women.
And then remain safe while I'm out, and then making it back is something that I need to do. Nice to meet you.
So I'm just gonna ask what your anxiety level is. Anytime you do this and you want to take a break, just tell me.
Okay.
We want you to be as comfortable as possible. And
So they're aware of everything that's going on in their environment. They hear it, they see it, they smell it. And if a person, I have no idea how Ricochet does it. Like, how could she know somebody's
better up here.
Better what?
Calm.
More like sit back and relax.
Ricochet's calm and reassuring nature. Ricochet's first attempt at reducing Audrey's anxiety has helped her to relax in Ricochet. It may take her mind off the stress of feeling unsafe.
And it'll be especially stable when Ricochet comes out with us.
Surfing has been... Being able to trust in Ricochet enables her to overcome her fear of the water. Montecito, California, January 2018.
Montecito was definitely our biggest deployment.
Despite 5 years of active service, dogs can do it more quickly, even in extreme conditions.
These dogs can search.
He runs back to me and sits on a deceased fine
Very nice. Very good. That's such a good job. They work together when we're not on duty. Come here, Rex. Gimme, gimme, gimme. When we're playing together, it kind of reinforces.
LA firefighter Jason Jaska are running through some final drills.
The journey's just begun, so congratulations.
The rescue dog and its human partner can help save lives. By 2050. Today, the water company is sending the dogs. When Ross locates the underground pipe on the GPS, Luke and Denzel start to follow it.
The dog's sensitivity to the scent in the chlorine is massive. What comes out of our taps at home is 0.2 to 0.5.
He wags his tail because success means one thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes leaking water will emerge at the surface. Luke can then test it to prove whether or not it's mains water. The team reports any potential leaks back to the local water authority, which decides
whether towards
or
the end. So they're still getting paid for working for us, really, in dog toys.
This helps create a less stressful environment to assist children with their learning.
Studies show not ask him to read it again, but he would just listen, not correct him.
Feel less anxious. If you drop your child off and they feel worried and anxious and they're teary, you walk away feeling anxious and teary. Having a dog there.
Another car. Right, if we head in.
When classes finish for lunchtime, Fernie takes his work outside. Surprisingly, our canine companions learn in a very
On which they had come to the farmhouse where their mother had taken lodgings.
That attracts up to 3,000 visitors every day. Helping to protect tourists and wildlife is Gracie, a 4-year-old. For the past 2 of those, Gracie has worked alongside him. The risk of wildlife and tourist interaction here is at a peak.
You have instances of people getting too close to the wildlife, whether that's to get a picture or to get a selfie or to try and feed
interaction is key to keeping everyone safe.
Yeah, good day, huh? Good day. Hillside across the road, not try and come in the parking lot. And other times, they'll be very persistent. But to the sheep or the goats, she looks like a wolf-like thing with big teeth that wants to eat it. She is famous. She's got her own trading cards here, too, so I'd like to hand those out.
The Border Collie takes its name from the Scottish and Welsh borders.
Gracie, down. Down. Good girl. Good girl.
But if the human is in a vehicle, the chance of fatalities on both sides, especially when it comes to playtime.
She's probably one of the most laid-back.
Today, fewer than 30,000 survive in the wild.
He attacks under command.
Tracking poachers down is the job in captivity here at Olpegita. In attack mode, Diego is fast, focused. There's a report of suspicious tracks, but no one in sight. Otis's long, droopy ears. Back at base, never dreamed possible. When the day patrol.
Good job. Iris is an extremely special guide dog. Okay, let's run. I wasn't blind. I wasn't totally blind. And she said that...
The staff select elite dogs for the running program. It takes 2 years of intensive training.
And that's what makes guide dog work the hardest training a dog will ever do. They literally have that
She'll be
person's
scored
life
on
in their
43 different interactions and behaviors. They must go above and beyond standard guide dog training. They need exceptional...
I love you, Iris. Yes, I do. I love you, Iris. That's true.
Dogs are loyal,
to the core.
dependable,
Nice.
with a desire to protect the Những Wildlife Sanctuary. Founded by Marlies van Vuren, brought to the sanctuary after his mother was killed by a predator. Nati's maternal instinct.
She's a really good mummy. And even the baboons, I mean, she's very comfortable
They
with
also like to test her patience.
Nati thinks she's a jackal and a cheetah and a hyena. Oh, and a baboon. I think if she can climb a tree, she...
But Canada's aquatic habitats are under threat from an invasion of feeders, sifting algae from the water. That's normally a good thing.
I feel like Seuss would say, you guys hired me to do a job. Get out of my way, I got this. I'm going to give this 110%.
Alberta's waters by sniffing out the zebra mussels.
They'll be really tiny. We've seen them the size of a grain of rice. We don't tend to see giant mussels all over. Right now, Hilo is in work mode while we perceive the landscape visually.
Yeah, Mr. Very good searching. We're almost finished this boat, Mr. Professor.
America in the late 1980s as unwitting stowaways in commercial ships traveling through the Great Lakes.
They literally choke out the organisms that would normally inhabit the bottom.
You're preparing for the real thing, where you're going to head out with your dogs and search.
Deborah Willett is from Working Dogs for Conservation.
They're not picking up these mussels from a great distance. Their nose has to be virtually right on them. Oh, what a fine boy.
Like all working dogs, Hilo loves a reward.
There we go. They're furry. People feel a connection when they see the dogs working at the inspection station.
Good work.
The truffle is an aromatic fruiting fungus that grows at the root of trees. The Italian restaurant has put in a special request. So Lolo and Alana are heading out to private woods. Lolo simply follows her nose in random patterns until she locks onto a scent.
Check down here.
She's more than a match for the traditional
She's very excited. So, and it smells nice. So this is not bad.
At least a few guests at the Italian restaurant. Alana moves the tins further away.
So the way this works, let's go.
In only a few hours and in the wrong season, Lolo's attention now focuses on her own dish of the day.
Sit.
With sniffing out these rare reptiles,
Brittany!
Are the world's first geometric tortoise for Cape Town. On the way, she first needs to stop off at a newly protected geometric. She can detect some scents in a concentration as low as 500. And she soon sniffs out another geometric tortoise.
They also annoy the dogs and they can make nasty sores. I also check between her pads for thorns, anything like that.
The geometrics starve as the sheep eat what little vegetation grows.
For him, so he should be fine here.
Thanks to the help of Bryn and Jamie.
It's also the mental stimulation that they need.
This reveals vital clues as to the cause of their decline and helps identify ways to save them.
Dio is really driven, and that's how we select actually all of our dogs. We look for dogs with a lot of energy.
Who alert them to whale sightings. Whale scat dissipates within minutes of reaching the ocean's surface. And population have survived to adulthood. It's a situation that Sam and his colleagues are just... Dio is sniffing with his nose into the wind, but he's not picking up any scent today. Dio's scenting is almost imperceptible to the untrained eye.
Good boy! Woo! He dropped it over there.